After speaking with counsel at the bench, we are going to take matters out of order. Ms. Wong, would you please come forward? Right up here to be sworn.
Raise your right hand. You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Please walk right around here and take a seat. Mr. Nerman, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Wong.
Morning.
Could you state your name for the record, please?
Grace Wong,
And Ms. Wong, for whom are you employed?
Turner Broadcasting.
And in your, may we approach, Your Honor?
Mr. Nerman, why don't you try again and see if you continue to get the feedback.
Okay. Ms. Wong, in case it wasn't clear, for whom are you employed?
I'm employed by Turner Broadcasting.
Okay. And in your capacity in working for Turner Broadcasting, have you been covered? Well, let me ask you this before I do that. What is your job title with Turner Broadcasting?
Senior field producer.
Okay. And as your job capacity as senior field producer, have you been covering the trial proceedings, State versus Jodi Arias?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And when did you begin your coverage of these proceedings?
I'm not exactly sure of the exact date, but it was the first day of jury selection.
Okay. So you've been here since jury selection and nearly every day at the trial, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And in your capacity covering this trial, you've been in the gallery most of these days, is that correct?
Yes.
And making observations of the trial to report on those?
Yes.
Okay. And in that regard, are you familiar with the jurors, at least in terms of facial recognition?
I'm familiar with the jurors that I can see from where I sit.
Okay. In terms of the jurors you can see from where you sit, do you know the numbers of those jurors that you're able to see?
Most of them, yes.
Okay, could you recite those for us?
Juror number 1, juror number 2, juror number 3, juror number 4, juror number 5, juror number 9, juror number 18, juror number 17. Most of the jurors, but I'm not exactly sure. If you gave me a test to match, I think those are the numbers that match the faces that I remember.
Okay. You don't think, you said most of them after you cited off a number, so are there other numbers that you recognize, or?
Well, I know them by face,
Okay.
so that's how I remember them. But now that I'm recalling their numbers, I'd have to sort of see their face again.
Okay. Are there certain jurors you feel like you're blocked from seeing? Is that what you're telling us?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And do you know where those jurors are seated?
Yes, most of them.
Where are they seated, the ones you cannot see?
The juror number 10.
Okay. So juror number 10 is really the only one you may not recognize by face. Is that correct?
Yeah, and juror number juror number 1, I'm not exactly sure.
Okay. Now, Ms. Wong, prior to these proceedings, it's my understanding that you got to review what has been marked as exhibit number 2, correct?
Correct.
And could you describe for us what was contained in exhibit number 2?
If it's the exhibit that I'm thinking about, it's a package that was produced by one of CNN's affiliate stations, and it's a story about the prosecutor being treated like a celebrity.
Okay. And just so we're clear, because you kind of qualified it a bit, I can show you what's been marked, if I may approach, Your Honor. Exhibit number 2. You reviewed that recently with your attorney, did you not?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And this is the disc that contains the video that, the story you were speaking of, correct?
Correct.
And you were seen in this video, were you not?
Yes.
Okay. And in terms of your observations that day, did you observe this behavior on part of Mr. Martinez?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see him taking photographs with members of the public?
Yes.
And did you see him signing autographs?
Yes.
The video that we see here, I believe, only demonstrates him signing one autograph. Were there other autographs that he signed to your, what you were able to see?
Yes.
Okay. And we saw a couple photographs being taken of him in this story. Did he take photographs of more people that were not contained in this video?
Yes.
Did you, having walked by this and being a reporter, I take it this would be something of interest to you, would it not?
Yes.
Okay. And in that regard, did you, I noticed when in the video you were walking by, but did you stand and take a few minutes to observe these festivities?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any knowledge of how long this show went on?
A few minutes.
And going back to the other question, it's about the jurors and the ones you recognized. Did you recognize any jurors being in the area to have witnessed any of this?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Wong. Judge, I would move to have exhibit number 2 admitted.
Any
For the
objection?
purposes of this hearing. No.
Exhibit 2 is admitted for purposes of this hearing only. Cross-examination.
I don't have any questions, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wong. You may step down. Court will hear argument on the motion after we have completed the Daubert hearing. Mr. Nermi, you may call your witness for that hearing.
Yes, Your Honor, and before we do so, we ask that Ms. Arias